All right, so we have a fun video, a unique one in the fact that we, instead of fishing rods, we've got a bow and arrow.
Still got a reel though.
And we're on freshwater, so there's some tilapia here. We're actually right out behind the store, Fish Strong store. And there's a bunch of beds here that have, there's a tilapia on that bed right there.
Look, there's one that, see that white one moving?
Another one moving out there. So turns out these are actually really good to eat. So my wife and I just had a baby, and actually looking up the food quality, it says it's actually really good for women who are breastfeeding newborns.
Yeah, pregnant or breastfeeding. It's going to lowest mercury levels, and it's also, these are bad for the lake. So these are invasive species, these blue tilapia. And what happens is they get pretty big, and they're actually crazy fast, and they will actually go into these bass beds. These used to be bass beds. Look at that one right there, Luke. Shine down on them.
Oh, hopefully they can see that.
Would have been too easy to.
There's another one on that bed right there.
They're in every single bed. So every one of these white spots should have been a bass bed.
There goes.
How fast they move. And what happens is these tilapia come in and they eat the bass eggs, eventually run these bass out, because some of these tilapia are massive and they get up 9-10 pounds, and eventually can actually take over a lake and actually start driving the bass population. Now there's two of them right there flirting together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this Cajun Bowmaster or whatever, and pretty cool. So this has a little reel. This is the release. So you have to make sure that is down before you shoot. You have to also make sure that this is up, otherwise that'll hit this. So it's kind of simple, is that has to be up. You got to have release, otherwise this line will not go out and it'll come right back and peg you, and then you reel that sucker in. So let's see.
Oh, dude, that one right there is just asking for it.
Get
going broadside. I'll get behind you, see if we can get the whole thing in frame.
See how far down he is. I'll take a shot of him. Anything.
Yeah, I saw him. Might as well just shoot right in that white hole. Yeah, he's still down there for sure. Oh, just missed him.
Just over him.
But he actually went out and went right back in. So I don't think he realized what just happened.
Get our arrow back. And these arrows are really cool. So this ensures that they can't get off, and all you have to do is unscrew that little cap there, and then that will go up and you can just shoot the fish right off.
It's like coming right to the dock. Let me get on the other side of you. Ready? All right, there's a good one there.
Just saw us.
Let's slow down. Oh, just pause. Just pause. So let's just not move. All right, he paused.
Got him.
Oh, nice.
Got him. Right in the noggin. Right in the noggin.
All right, dinner is coming our way. Nice shot.
Well, that's a nice one, dude.
Very nice shot.
Still batting 500.
That's a good sized fish too. These are bigger than I thought.
Oh yeah, they're big, dude.
Yeah, check that out. Right in front of the Salt Strong store.
And you can see the arrow went all the way through and prevents it from going down.
That is awesome. All right, this one's going in the cooler. Nice. All right, dinner is going to be hopefully good. My first.
All right,
tilapia.
Luke. Solid one, dude.
That was it. It came in this hole right below me. It was almost too easy. Check out the size of this thing.
Yeah, they're getting big. Woo, feisty.
Yeah, so I'm gonna clean these later today. We'll show you how to. I'll clean one myself, and then I'll do a lesson showing how to do it. But supposedly they're very good to eat, and these are way bigger than I thought. I'm blown away at this, and yeah, check out the teeth. They have some like legit teeth. So I'm gonna put this guy on ice, and I can't wait to try these things out. Yeah, I've cleaned a lot of fish in my days and tried almost everything. I've never cleaned nor eaten one of these, so very excited to put this to the test. In this video, you're going to see how to clean tilapia. These are blue tilapia. This one is obviously already cleaned. This is the after, this is the before. We did some bow fishing today and we got some really nice ones. I'd actually never cleaned one before, but I used some tricks that I do with sheep's head, and this worked out great. You can see I got most of the meat. I went around the ribs, most importantly. If you try to go through ribs like this is similar to sheep's head, they'll pretty much wreck your knives. It'll make them really dull. So I'll show you a trick on how to do that, and a cool trick to start it off. So let's go ahead and get this one out of the way and go on to the next. So first trick, this is something that I didn't do for many years, and now that I've started, I always do it. But as far as starting out the fish, I used to sit there and saw at the scales. That is not good for the knife. It'll wear you out. The trick is to go in right at the top, right at the very top of the fish. For sheep's head, you'll actually feel the knife go into a groove. For this one, not so much, but just a little bit of pressure, it'll slide right in under the scales. I should say behind the scales. And what I'm doing is I'm just basically sawing down, and this blade is going against the backbone. And again, a lot of the good meat, a lot of people just do a quick slice like that, and this chunk of meat is good that people miss. So I go all the way up till I actually can't go anymore. So I finally hit the actual, basically the skull bone, if you will, right at the head. So now, down toward the tail, same thing. Get that knife in the groove, angle it slightly down, and just go right up along the back. Obviously, you always keep your hands away from the blade. I should say behind and away from the blade. And we'll go all the way down to the tail. Let those scales slide off. So now we need to feel on the head where the bone essentially stops. So like basically right there's my meat. So I'm gonna go pluck a scale off. Now get the point in, and this is where we have to actually burn through some scales. We'll just do kind of small chops. You'll clear through them, and again, now meet with that very first cut. So that's going to be our very top corner. Now we're going to basically outline the fillet. Again, hand behind the knife, shift those scales away. These things are big old scales. There you can see where the arrow went out of it right there. And then I like to go way around the stomach and all the nasty stuff. And then now we can get close to, once we get to that anal fin, we now can get closer and make sure that we get all the meat. So I'm basically angling the knife down as much as I can until I hit bone, and then go up and over. All right, so now we have the outline. This is the outline of our fillet. My favorite meat is always on the top part of the backbone, so that's where I concentrate. So I'm just going to hold the meat up just a little bit, and you can see all the bones. All the bones are going up and down on the fish. So I'm just getting that knife and just going right up along that backbone until I hit the ribs. You can hear it. I'm hitting those ribs, so that is as far as I can go. Now I'm gonna do the same on this back side. Again, knife close to the fish and keep going till I hit the vertebrae. So there's the vertebrae. So one trick, again, just to maximize meat coverage, is I find the vertebrae and I take the knife and I just go down and poke around until I go out of the bottom. And now I can finish off the tail fillet. So now we have that section. Again, another way to get as much meat as possible is lift the meat up and then just take the knife right over the vertebrae and angle down so that we can not miss that meat that's right on the back side of the vertebrae. Again, for one fish, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're feeding a lot of people and you only have a couple fish, every little ounce of meat we save is a big deal. And same thing before, right? We want to run that knife down along the bones. Let me go ahead and pop it out up here. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So basically, we didn't lose much meat there. I missed a slight little bit there, but otherwise that's pretty good. So here's where it gets dicey. And again, these rib bones are very tough. You're not going to go through them without messing up your knife. And even if you do, you have to cut it out at the end. So a trick, this is what I do for sheep, so I'm gonna get my sleeves up a little bit. But a trick is just to start up top. There's gonna be some pin bones. This one has 2 of them that I felt on the first one. And so I just wanna break through those pin bones. Let me get a hold of it. Do a quick, sorry, let me get a better angle. Let's see, I'm just breaking through those pin bones. I just heard one click. There's a second. And now I can run the knife right over the ribs so that I actually recover meat. If you really want to maximize meat coverage, I'm going just over the ribs and then just feel the ribs as you go down. Right, over the ribs, feel it as you go down. And what you'll find is that you hardly lose any meat, and more importantly, you're not dulling your knife by slicing through those rib bones. So they're the finished product. Yeah, I missed a little meat when I was messing with the pin bones. They're right here. It looks like there's 4 of them. So those are the pin bones, and then right here again, we got all the meat off the ribs without having to battle them. So another trick for skinning that has helped a lot is I'm right-handed, and so I used to always start with the tail, but how the scales are on a fish, right? The scales are always aimed back, and if you have a slimy table it can slide around. But if you go from the top, all those scales are angled down into the table, so it holds a lot better. So I can just barely put a little bit of pressure on the meat, or sorry, on the skin up top, and it all stays put. It doesn't slide around nearly as much. And another trick for doing this, that's why one bad thing about this table, is always have your knife, your actual handle outside or basically over the edge of the table so that you can have that blade nice and flat. This table has that groove, which is the only thing I don't like about it. But it's convenient. It lets me fillet fish in the front yard like I'm doing right now. And we just moved here, so I'm sure the neighbors are really thrilled they've got somebody who cleans fish in the front yard. But we'll just be out here for a little bit. So there's the fillet. Again, solid meat. I've never eaten tilapia before, so I don't know how it's going to taste, but I've heard it's good. I mentioned pin bones before. So when you run your hands, I like to flip it over, but I can feel those pin bones. So when I cut those out, so I get on the back side, and these pin bones angle in, so we basically have to essentially angle in there and just make sure you get around all those pin bones. We don't want people who are feeding to get any bones in there. And as you can see, they're little small ones, but you can feel them for sure. But yeah, that would definitely not be good for somebody to get in their meat. And then otherwise, I like to grill them. I'll be grilling these tonight. So I'm just gonna chunk it. One chunk, another chunk. And this little rib cage part, again, it's not much meat that you save. So I might try to blacken this a little bit. Yeah, I'll blacken that. That'll be nice. So 2 grillers, 1 kind of appetizer, and so yeah, we'll see how it does. So basically the same exact process happens on the other side. I'm not going to bother filming it because it takes a while, but that's the process. So I'm going to show you my favorite recipe for cooking fish. I've used this for pretty much all my favorite saltwater species. In this video, it's tilapia. I've actually never eaten it before, but this is a great recipe where you can actually taste the fish, but it also tastes extremely good too. And again, it works for pretty much all species. This is all you need. Very simple. You need the fish, of course. You need some olive oil, whatever seasoning you like. This stuff is really good. I have another spice I'm gonna test out. You need a butter knife. Secret tool. You'll see that at the end. Spatula, of course, some paper towels. Let's get started. Number 1, we need to wash off the fillets. This is super quick. We need to wash them off and then dry them. So just run them over some water, dry them on the paper towel, and then put them on our pan. So you see, again, this is all going to be pretty quick and easy. We don't need to cook all of these today. So we'll get off some of the good grillers. My favorite for grilling are the ones that are a little bit thicker. Again, just simply washing them off, dry them off. All right, so now we have all the fillets in our little tub here. Let me get that paper towel out of the way. Now we're gonna put some olive oil on them. We need this to help make sure that it doesn't stick to the grill. So yes, we're grilling these puppies. So this helps it not stick, while also helping the spices stick to it. So let me go ahead and get so here's the other one I'm gonna use. This is what I use on my favorite stuff. We're just a little lemon pepper and garlic salt. That's when you can really taste how the meat actually is. But when in doubt on seafood, this stuff is awesome. They have a redfish magic, a blackened redfish magic, which is great too. So yeah, what I'm gonna do with my left hand here is I'm just making sure that they're coated with this oil. Nothing too fancy. All right, now that last one is coated, we'll line them up. I'm gonna do, these are my favorite grillers right there. So I'm gonna do that, actually these 3. So these 3 with the lemon pepper and garlic, and then these bigger ones with the seasoning. So as far as seasoning, just kind of do it to taste. This stuff doesn't have too much of a kick, so I like to give it a nice coating. So that's there, and then for the garlic pepper, again, the same thing. Simple coating. And then the garlic salt, so lemon pepper, garlic salt. So this stuff should taste hopefully really good. So that's it for now. Now we're gonna take this out of the grill. We're gonna take our spices as well and finish the deal. All right, so coming out of the grill, we'll show you how it works. So as far as the grill, I have these cast iron grates, which are really nice. But we're just simply gonna put them on the grill with these grates. I don't really even coat them or anything. If you're worried about the fish sticking, you of course can use some stuff to make for it, but I just throw them right on. So those are the ones with the pepper and salt, and then these are going to be the traditional ones. Oops. Leave a little bit of space. We'll get them spiced side down, and now we'll put get the other side with spices. Again, you wanted to have, I give as far as the temperature, I get 400 degrees is kind of the default that I go with. You can obviously do more or less, because the knife is what's going to determine once they're ready. So we've got the pepper, now I get the salt. All right, so we got those on there. Let's put this thing down. So 400 degrees, after about 3 minutes, I flip them when they're this thickness. Now time for the flip. It's been about 3 minutes. You can see some of the smaller sections starting to rise up. And we're literally just flipping them over. We'll do the thinner ones first. Oh, there we are. That one's looking good. And it's nice to have a thin spatula to really get up underneath it. Nice and easy. Yeah, these are looking solid. Yeah, this tilapia fillets are looking very nice. Definitely grill worthy from the looks of it. So yeah, this is what you want to see. You want to see those little chars. So we're gonna get those over, get them nice and hot. Another 3 minutes, and that's where the butter knife comes in. We're gonna dip this thing and basically poke at it. As soon as it pokes through the meat, that's when you know it's done. 3 minutes have passed, so now time to check. And again, we're gonna use the knife. So that one is still not poking through. So the thicker ones obviously take longer. That one poked through nice and easy. That one's ready. That one will give a second longer. This one is definitely ready to go. So we're gonna put that off to the side. Make sure my dog Otis doesn't go up there and take a swipe at it. Haven't tried this one yet. Yeah, that one's actually ready. Otis, don't you think about it, buddy. He got his nose up there close. That one should be ready, yep. Yeah, basically, once you get the thickness when they're done, they'll all of them that same thickness will be done. So these are the 3 thickest ones. We'll give them like an extra 20 seconds, and they all should be ready to eat. All right, so do another check, and this one back here, poking through nice and easy, and again, that knife will just go right through it. And these are definitely done. And now I think we're down just to that one last. We'll get that one a check afterwards. Easy, Otis. Yeah, once we start getting close to the edge, it's Otis. Otis danger zone. So we'll flip that guy over. Let's give it a poke in a thick part. Yeah, so that's still not going through, so we'll give that one, again, another 10, 20 seconds. It should be done. Worst thing you can do is overcook. So we don't want to have any rubber. We want to get it off as soon as that butter knife pokes through the fish. All right, so after 20 seconds, another poke, and there we're starting to go through. So let's have this thing off and check these out. And this looks nice, right? It's nothing fancy. It's easy to do. It looks nice. Most importantly, for most fish at least, it tastes very good. And jury's still out for the tilapia itself. But for cobia, snook, redfish, pompano, permit, this recipe is dynamite. So check out the final result. This thing looks nice. So this is my wife's and my mother-in-law. They're doing it on a sandwich. So we're gonna have a tilapia sandwich. Looks solid. I want to just taste how this fish is. So I have. This is the one with the that magic seasoning, and then this was my pepper and salt combo with a little bit of salad. So I might as well go ahead and taste it right now before we get seated. Let's taste the one with that magic seasoning. This is actually really good. It has a nice firm, a white flaky meat, just as it said online. Check that out, where you just going into, and it's just a nice white flaky meat. This is the pepper and garlic salt. It's very good. I actually prefer the pepper and garlic salt. This is the recipe that I do for fish that taste good, and this is much better than I was expecting. I haven't eaten a lake fish in quite some time, and this is surprisingly good. So final addendum, I was gonna end at the very initial taste testing, but I did have a little bit of an aftertaste on the tilapia. So as far as mine, I didn't really care for it nearly as much as saltwater fish. However, the sandwiches had very good responses. So having it in a sandwich where there's a little bit more action would be the way to go for tilapia. That recipe I showed is really more for like cobia, snook, pompano, some fish that just taste very, very good. For a tilapia, definitely add some more spices, maybe doing a pan saute would be the better option as well. So I'll be doing some more recipes. The tilapia was good. It actually had a very nice feel to it as far as the tenderness. So I'll be doing some more recipes on it. If you do have a favorite, let us know down in the comment section down below. Again, they're fun to catch with bow fishing, so I'll be doing more of it. Thank you so much for your time and watching. Hope to see you again soon.